I think that's where the food is. Help yourself to some good home cooking from Chill Spot and make yourself comfortable in our community. We'll soon be started, but we'll keep you in touch with when we're gonna get started. Town community. Tonight we are bringing the Caymanian community party to the Bodden Town community. So we are home, we are in Dallas. So tonight we're going to open really quickly. My name is Aniki, I'm your host for the tonight. I keep forgetting to introduce myself, forgive me, but Bodden Towners know who I am. I'm Fennell. We're gonna, well, I'm sure they do. You know who Nell is. I'm going to start with a poem tonight before we invite our gentlemen on the stage to join us. It's called Election Prayer. Oh, my darling islands, I send you all my love. May the hustlers and the shadines feel the grace of God above. May the schoolgirls and the schoolboys who rise now from out of bed wash their faces, enter kitchens, where they are loud and they are fed. Keep the mosquitoes in the swamp, especially Meager Bay Swamp, and the dolphins running strong. Keep the woodpeckers from the roofs, especially in Beach Bay, and hush the parrot's mango song. May the struggling baby mama get all the help she needs. May the inmate in Northward and the officer see God's sky above the weeds. May the doctors do the right thing, keep the lawyers far from lies, help the cashiers all to balance, and the cooks kill all the flies. Keep the lowlands like Cumber safe from flooding, keep the sand up on our beach, and keep evil from our hearts, our treasures out of Satan's reach. Bless the grannies, lullabies, and the daddies who provide. Bless the adults at sunrise, the fishermen out off north side. Keep us all in safety. Keep our sailors' wits afloat. And may the good Lord's will be done when we all go out to what? Welcome to Bodden Town. Please join us on the stage, and we'll have our candidates join us tonight. So the Caymanian Community Party has been bringing the community on the road. We have spent time, we started in Pedro Castle. I don't know how many of you were there that night. Was anybody there that night? Yeah. Boy, didn't you feel like you were at home? Boy, I was proud to be Caymanian. I felt like a real Caymanian. The birthplace of democracy in Cayman, we started in Pedro Castle. Then we took the show on the road. We went down to Georgetown, spent time with our 4 candidates there. You all say a little prayer tonight for Mr. Auntie. He is at his forum tonight. So giving good vibes to Auntie. Boy, this breeze is good tonight. We're going to sleep well. And then we spent some time this weekend in West Bay, but now we are home in Bodden Town. Mr. Ozie, Mr. Robert, would you like to join me? Please join us on the stage, gentlemen. Please welcome the Boddens. We're putting the Bodden back in Bodden Town. Take your pick. Now tonight, I'm going to ask, just let that pass first. We're going to invite the Bishop of Bodden Town to join us, Bishop Jenny Jackson, for our opening prayer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let us bow our heads in prayer and ask God's blessings on the candidates who will be leading us for the next 4 years. Lord, we come in your presence right now. As we come before you, we ask, Lord, for you to empower them with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Lord, we ask for knowledge that they will know the right and wrong when it is brought before them, to make the right decision. We ask, Lord, that they will use wisdom in making decisions for the community of Bodden Town and also for the 3 islands. We pray, Lord, that you will give them wisdom to understand and to seek advice from those who have been before, those who have walked this road, those who have worked hard to make Bodden Town what it is. We ask, Lord, that you would minister to them, give them understanding, to reach out to those who need to converse with them. And we pray, Lord, that you will bless them in a very special way as they represent us throughout the next 4 years. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. God bless you, my brothers. It's good to have Boddens back in Bodden Town. We remember Mr. Jim Bodden and Mr. Haig Bodden. Thank you, Mr.
So tonight we've already heard from the bishop. Now we will hear from Bodden Town's favorite bard. I'll call Mr. Rudy Miles to join us. Please stand and join him as we sing our national song.
O land of soft, fresh breezes, of verdant trees so fair, with thy Creator's glory reflected everywhere. O sea of palest emerald, merging to darkest blue, whene'er my thoughts fly Godward, I always think of you. Dear verdant island set in blue Caribbean sea, I'm coming very soon, oh beauteous isle, to thee. Although I've wandered far, my heart enshrines thee yet, homeland fair Cayman Isle, I cannot thee forget.
Thank you, Rudy.
No, no, no. Celebrity in our midst. Miss Shelma, I've been waiting for you. You better, listen, we can't start without you. Oh my goodness. I hope you got your horn. You got your horn though. You got backup too? All right, Shelma's in the house. We are in Bodden Town tonight. So tonight we are going to talk what Mr. That's right, we bushes, we not afraid of nothing. The bushes and the Boddens of Bodden Town. Tonight we are going to talk what Mr. Robert Bodden calls big people business. Yeah. So we are going to invite Miss Liani to start our evening of discussions off. She is the chair of the TCCP Youth Council, and she will be joining us to tell us a little bit about what they have going on.
You know, he's a man who can't take the botheration, you know. So let the door it, yeah. I wear the good Lord splits, yeah. Brand new music on this, you say you love me and you care, but you never then near. You're always on the run. Now tell me this. Why?
Good evening, everyone. All right, so I want to kick off tonight by starting with a story, or kind of painting you all a picture. So imagine someone returning from school, getting a scholarship from government, but yet they can't get a job. Imagine in this, all right, imagine being able to not get a job, not just not get a job, but not even a response, no explanation, telling you that, even to the point where you're overqualified, telling you you don't have experience. You finally get the job, and then you see work permit holders coming in after work permit holder, after work permit holder. You're asking for training. You're requesting to be promoted, and you're denied. you are employed and your firm only has 10% Caymanians employed, all of a sudden the rates go up to 25%, but you know that you have been the only Caymanian hired. But it is because the work permit holders are now Caymanians. So you can't get that job anymore. Your salary is not enough. Bills are getting more and more expensive. CNC costs are going down. You can't qualify for a loan. A 1-bedroom, minimum you're gonna pay $300,000. Average meal has now become ramen, maybe some peanut butter and jelly. And not even peanut butter, like she said, because that's expensive too. This is the story of young Caymanians. This is the story of many of my peers. These are our stories. And if this is your story and you are a young Caymanian between the ages of 16 to 30, I implore you to join the Youth Council. The Youth Council is where young people in Cayman can actively engage in shaping the nation's future through a fully operational Youth Council. You will contribute directly to policy development and legislative milestones with representation from different branches within the TCCP. The Youth Council will serve as a vehicle for social mobilization, leadership development, grassroots engagement, and ensuring young voices are not just heard but embedded in decision making in every level. Now, so far, we've already started a discussion on national issues and we've proposed solutions to the TCCP. The issues that were outlined by young people in this country are climate change, housing and development, cost of living, jobs and career opportunities, and immigration and mental health, just to name a few. Like I said, we're just in the initial phases of this organization, and if you all want to be a part of the change and contribute, now's your time to get involved. So far, we've already started with 2 committees. We have the Media and Comms Committee, as well as the Admin Committee, who is developing our Constitution. And yes, we get to build our Constitution from scratch. We get to say what we want to do, set our objectives, our goals, etc. So again, if this is you, you're between the ages of 16 to 30, we're starting this organization from scratch. We get to shape it into what we want it to be. So now's the time to get involved. And we're also having an event on April 12th. So keep a lookout to all social media platforms if you all want to get involved in that. It's going to be very interesting. So more details will be posted soon. So keep an eye on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you all are looking. And the last thing I will say is, I'll wrap up with this. Again, if this is your story, if you are the young Caymanian that I mentioned, and unfortunately my story was very similar, right? If this is you, if you're tired of speaking and no one hears you, or you're not even allowed to speak, or when you speak, you're dismissed, or you're too young, you don't have any experience, you're completely ignored. If this is how you are feeling, that was how I felt too. So in the Youth Council, you'll have a chance to shape policies, have a seat at the table, actively have a seat at the table. And as I step down from this podium, come and talk to me. Let's have a discussion about the Youth Council and how you can get involved in shaping your future. Thank you.
So ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from the Bishop of Bodden Town. the Bard of Bodden Town, and now we have just heard about the brilliance of our future. Because Miss Liani has not said this herself, but she went on from that difficult start and that difficult story to become one of our Cayman Airways pilots, of whom we are very proud. So please give her a round of applause. Now, we are now about to hear a little bit about the butler of Bodden Town. We're bringing the Boddens back to Bodden Town, right? Who we voting for? TCCP. Say it again. Who we voting for in Bodden Town? TCCP. Okay, so now we're going to hear from two persons in our community who have a lot of wonderful things to say about Mr. Robert. But at this point in time, you know what's so funny? I was thinking on the way here that I've become a little bit obsessed with Mr. Robert Bodden. I think all of Cayman is after his presence and, you know, and his communication with the public over the last couple of weeks. So much so, I think even his opposition is a little bit obsessed with him. But tonight we're going to hear from two of the persons in our community who have a lot of wonderful things to say. Excuse me.
I am happy to endorse Mr. Robert Bodden to be your next elected representative. I believe he is the person for the time. I am happy to endorse Mr. Robert Bodden to be your next elected representative. I believe he is the person for the time. He is a very compassionate person. He knows your problems. He has the community at heart. Caymanians should all be treated equal. The previous government failed to do this. We are in this fight to make Cayman a better place than when we arrived. Mr. Robert has a plan that will help this generation and future generations to come. Finance is our main pillar of revenue. We need another pillar of revenue. And I am confident Mr. Robert and his affiliates can make this happen. If elected, they will get the job done. Let us pass the torch and do our part. This is a crucial election. We need to have the right people. My late father, Jerry Bodden, and his grandfather, Mr. Scobell Bodden, were the best of friends. Both went to sea and served on U.S. ships during World War II. They helped many persons. Robert's father, the late Mr. Haldane, was a barber who always cut my three boys' hair and did an excellent job. We need people who believe in helping others, who will step up and put this country first. Start taking care of Caymanians for a change. As a Bodden, Mr. Robert has a name to live up to. Remember my brother, the late Mr. Jim Bodden, and the late Mr. Haig Bodden, elected members of Bodden Town, who did so much for this country, called the Twins. I believe this would make both of them very happy. It is nothing like the precious moment, and I believe now is the time. Elect the Boddens. May God bless you all, and may God continue to bless these Cayman Islands we all call home. We still have miles and miles to go.
People of Bodden Town East, the choice is yours. And it's simple. Ask yourselves, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? Ask yourselves, are you satisfied with your representative? Your representative has been a minister. He's a minister of labor and a minister of immigration. Both two complaints that we have many Caymanians grappling under. No minimum wage, and we have an outpouring of competition from cheap labor, both of which Minister Dwayne Seymour could do something about. He hasn't done anything about them in 4 years, except, of course, move from one government to the next, from one political directorate to the next, and we are still suffering. So what are we going to do about it? The choice is clear. Vote him out. You have an opportunity to vote in a good representative in Robert Bodden. You have an opportunity to vote in someone who is aware of your problems, someone who shares your experiences, someone who is interested, and someone who will be available. There is no reason to give bad representation another chance. You have a choice to do what is right. I can depend upon you to do what is right in this case. Get rid of the old and bring in the new, and guarantee that you and your progeny will be better off. Bodden Town will be better off. The Cayman Islands will be better off when you vote in Robert Bodden as your representative in the April the 30th elections.
The stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone. Sing it, brother. The stone that the builder refused will always be the head cornerstone.
Good night, Bodden Town East. Good night, Bodden Town West. Good night to our listening audience. It's a pleasure to be here tonight, and I thank you for coming out and being a part of the change that is coming to Bodden Town. I ask you today, is your life better off today than it was 4 years ago? I can't hear you. That's much better. Are you happy with the past 4 years of representation by your current MP? 8 years. Thank you, Osbourne. Has your dollar been able to purchase food, pay your monthly bills, and leave you with something to save for a rainy day? The answer is definitely no. The minister has failed to deliver the very basic of needs for us, the people of Bodden Town East. Have you seen your minister in your community? Has he came to see you? Is he available at his office? Is he attentive to your needs? And has he delivered on the promises that he promised to do for you? The minister has neglected us and is incompetent to lead. I too am suffering, just like you, the people of Bodden Town East and West. He, as the Minister of Border Control, Immigration and Labor, has failed to deliver any meaningful reforms. The doors of work permits is open and unchecked, and the people are pouring in left, right, and center. He campaigned in 2017 and said, no more work permits, but nothing was done. And importation of labor has quadrupled. As the Minister of Labor, he had the opportunity to increase the minimum wage, but he chose not to. He is protecting special interest groups and his very own business. The minimum wage now being offered is a disrespect to the hard-working people of this country, which cannot put food on their table and pay their bills. Where has the minister been for the past 4 years, I ask? Certainly not in Bodden Town. I have a good idea where he was, and it was not meetings fighting on your behalf, because when he did show up for work, he was late and falling asleep on the job. I ask you, is this the kind of representation you want to continue with in Bodden Town East? It is a crying shame when you hear the news or read the newspapers that residents from Bodden Town are being arrested and charged for crimes and murder happening in our neighborhood who are not Bodden Towners. He has allowed Bodden Town to be the dumping ground for criminals. Just today, another murder has taken place in Bodden Town. Where are the additional CCTV cameras that are needed in our communities? And where are the police? We need more boots on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sad day in Bodden Town, and a young person has lost their life. What I'm about to read was sent to me at 6:30 this evening by a concerned citizen that just lived a few yards from where this unfortunate incident took place. And the person has enlightened me to some of the activities that take place in that community. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a new community, hasn't been fully developed, and it's a sad day today. And I quote, "Suspicious vehicles at night. Cars are frequently parked in unlit areas with their lights on and engines running, often in cul-de-sacs or dead-end streets. This raises concerns about potential criminal activity or illicit transactions taking place under the cover of darkness. Illegal street racing and reckless driving is taking place in this close-knit community. Nearly every evening, the sound of racing cars, illegal dirt bikes, and burnouts disrupts the neighborhood. These high-speed activities not only pose a safety risk, but also demonstrate a general sense of lawlessness. There is an increase in unfamiliar individuals and loitering. With the expansion of Lookout Gardens Phase 4, the area has become a gathering spot for individuals who do not reside or own property here. Now that a murder has taken place just down the road from us, the neighborhood wants to know, will there be action taken now? Will the police and elected officials now take initiative to protect and keep our neighborhood safe? Will you now address the obvious level of criminality within our community? We have no faith in our current system and police. This will be on the minds of the public in a few days. This will be off the minds of the public in a few days, and undoubtedly there will be efforts to make change, but no legislation or real action will take place. We can't have another 4 years of Seymour. Vote Robert Bodden. Now that a murder has taken place just down the road from us, the neighborhood wants to know, will there be action taken now? Will the police and elected officials... All right, that's repetitive. All right, so that was something that was sent to me by a very concerned citizen who is a single person and has grave concerns for that community. Ladies and gentlemen, crime is out of control on this island, and I don't hear the current minister fighting for change and offering any solutions to this urgent matter. Our people are living in fear, and no tangible efforts on his part has been made to improve the situation. He, as Minister of Border Control, is aware of the biometric equipment purchased by the government to be used at our ports of entry to help identify persons of criminal background. Where is it sitting, ladies and gentlemen? On some shelf up in the government building creating dust. But yet he's saying it has to continue. It's a sad state of affairs, and he has failed as the minister. Ladies and gentlemen, it is simple. He's not focused on us, and he's out of touch with the people. He is just one part of the problem, because as the Minister of Government and now a member of the PPM, whose policies caused the mess in the first place, are selling us out to special interest groups. This tells me he's not working for us and is part of the problem. Enough is enough. What about us? The TCCP has a candidate in every constituency of Bodden Town, and we ask you to vote straight. Let's put the Bodden back into Bodden Town. I'm a proud, lifelong Bodden Town resident and would be honored to represent the people of Bodden Town East. As a community advocate who is frustrated with the poor representation, I am committed to addressing the pressing issues in Bodden Town East and making a difference in my district. It's time for leaders who are honest, have integrity, and put all Caymanians first. When we say Caymanians, ladies and gentlemen, we have to acknowledge that there's those amongst us who have contributed to the development of this country, either by marriage or by status. You pay mortgages, you buy food, and you support the community. You are one of us. Home ownership at the entry level needs to be more affordable. Immigration and real estate reforms are needed. We need to ease the traffic congestion coming out of the east. So many urgent needs in our community and island. I believe I have the experience and the determination needed to help fix these problems. I know the needs of Bodden Towners. I am your neighbor. I am raising my family. And there's my little princess. Hi, Amia. I'm doing this for you, baby. I am facing the same cost of living crisis as you, asking the same questions about the future of my child, and fighting my way through traffic to show up to work every morning just like you. When I am elected, I am going to show up for work. Unlike the current MP, who's out of touch and not focused on you. I can see and hear my opponent out there drowning in an ocean of desperation, but I have no intentions of joining him and attacking him on a personal basis. He's doing a great job all on his own, bringing himself down. And like the saying goes, when a part learns to talk, they will say anything. There's a lot of work to be done in Bodden Town East. I will stick to the solutions as we are tired of the issues he failed to fix, and I see him as incompetent to lead. Change is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. A new sheriff is coming to Bodden Town. A new sheriff is coming to Bodden Town. For every problem we are facing, there is a solution. I commit myself to working with the elected government and finding and delivering these solutions. I commit myself to being present and available to listen. I commit to make the needs of Bodden Town East my #1 priority. Enough with the empty promises. Enough with election time handouts. If they can buy you, then they can sell you out. We need solutions. We need results. Our calls for help have fallen on deaf ears. Who are you voting for in BTs? Hey, I lost you guys. Which meeting are you at? This is to elect Robert Bodden for Bodden Town East. Who are you voting for? That's much better. That's right, we're putting the Bodden back into Bodden Town. Some of the local issues I will work on are: we need support and financial assistance for local farmers. Many local farmers are in need of financial assistance in the form of machinery to better prepare the land for farming and irrigation equipment for traditional farming. And we need to protect our local water lands from overdevelopment in the agriculture zones. The TCCP and I will work with the Ministry of Agriculture to do more in this regards. Through the new development plan that is decades behind in revising, we will make sure that farmland and its available water source is not contaminated. Farmable land is a rare commodity and it has to be protected. Where government owns land that can be farmed, we need to make lease options available to licensed farmers, as good farming land is becoming harder to find and its cost is out of the reach to the average farmer. I see where early childhood education and after-school activity programs is needed in the constituency. When elected, I will work to bring a preschool to Bodden Town for residents, which will be open from 5:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. so the parents don't have to commute in the crazy morning traffic, as none are available in the eastern districts. I will implement after-school programs in the form of music and the performing arts, summer programs in education to allow students that are falling behind to catch up. We have the dreaded traffic and commute issues. The TCCP and I recognize the significant amount of productive time that is wasted in traffic, particularly during the work hours. To improve traffic conditions and to reduce the amount of time wasted, we would propose the following solutions. We will commit to completing the East-West Arterial Road as quickly as possible at an affordable cost with the least impact on our last available farmlands. And I hope you're listening, Mr. Woods. When the new TCCP government is formed, the final leg of the East-West Arterial Road, that is from Bodden Town to Frank Sound, will be revisited to make sure it does not negatively impact our residential communities and last available farmlands in the area. And that's a promise that I will hold dearly. We will work collectively as a team to introduce a comprehensive public transportation system, as the road highway itself will not be the solve-all to our traffic woes. We need a reliable, convenient, comfortable, and easy-to-use public transportation system. We will work collectively with private organizations to provide more bus shelters, implement a dedicated bus lanes on major corridors, increase frequency and reliability of public transport services to a 24-hour service, introduce park and ride facilities at strategic locations, install GPS trackers in public buses with a phone app for users of the bus system. I envision buses should be by color code for individual routes and a number to identify where each bus goes into neighborhoods and communities. We need to restrict who can import and own cars. We need to encourage remote working. We need to increase the percentage of children going to and fro from school by buses. Today, less than 30% of the school children use buses. So the government need to encourage government-private partnership for the private schools to use these buses. We need to encourage flexible work hours to reduce peak traffic, promote remote work options where feasible, implement staggered school times, expand dedicated bicycle lanes and pedestrian pathways, thereby creating safe walking routes to schools and commercial centers. We need also to include secure biking parking facilities at key destinations. Housing is a major issue across the island, and the TCCP believe every citizen has a right to access decent housing, and every Caymanian should have housing security. When elected, we will take several steps to make housing more affordable. We will introduce the Government Guarantee Home Assisted Mortgage Program to help eligible Caymanians qualify for a mortgage with no money down. We will raise the upper price limit that is eligible for stamp duty waivers. We will speed up the National Housing Development Trust rate of delivery of new homes. We will reduce red tape and bureaucracy that drives up the cost of building a home, and also amend planning regulations to allow smaller lot sizes in well thought out neighborhoods. We see where increase building heights and encourage neighborhood mixed-use commercial developments. We want to make it easier to allow homeowners to add rental units like a mother-in-law suite or studio apartment for their adult children, to offer extra income or lower the cost of housing for family members waiting to get on the property ladder while they save to purchase land or a home. Rental housing market is out of control. We need to introduce a rental housing commission, provide a standard lease to protect tenants and landlords. We need to inspect rental housing and provide a certificate of fitness for occupancy. We need social and transitional housing, where government provides short or long-term housing. We need a stock of government-owned or controlled housing stock for the indigent and emergencies when hotels are not suitable. This housing stock excuse me, would be available for some of the Department of Financial Assistance clients. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to do a better job of protecting our seniors. They were the iron men and women of this country that worked tirelessly, selflessly, to allow us the quality of life that we are achieving and living today. The TCCP will support additional programs to assist the elderly population across the Cayman Islands. It is essential to ensure that our seniors receive the care, support, and resources they need to maintain a high quality of life. We will advocate for expansion of health services, ensuring our citizens have greater access to essential healthcare services without financial barriers. We also need to provide support for necessary home repairs to ensure safe and comfortable living conditions. Improving the energy efficiency of their homes, expanding community-based social activities and programs. We also need to find a community location to build a senior citizen home in this district, so the most vulnerable can live out the remaining years of their lives in dignity and respect. By investing in these initiatives, we can enhance the well-being of our elderly population and ensure they continue to thrive in a supportive and caring community. I have a vision for Bodden Town Central that would include rezoning, more commercial mixed-use development on the land side opposite the beach, thereby allowing for small boutique hotels and guest houses so that within a 10 and 15-year period, this area would be a hub of tourist and local activities for the area. Bodden Town Central needs a complete overhaul because it has the best beaches second to 7 Mile Beach. I would not change the beach side of this picturesque beauty, but add tropical, vibrant colors on the current buildings to create a tropical experience. I see where traffic calming measures with a few added pedestrian crossings would make life easier and safer for the residents of this area. By removing the heavy equipment traffic to the back road, we will create a safer roadway. Morning traffic heading to Georgetown with assistance from the police would not be allowed to take the shortcut through Anton Bodden, and similarly the traffic heading east would be made to turn left at the Bodden Town school side and exit by the police station. These immediate changes with assistance from the police will go a long way in helping with the current morning commute. Ladies and gentlemen, the TCCP team believe that leadership must be honest, transparent, and truly invested in the people. We believe in prioritizing sustainable infrastructure, improving public safety, and ensuring that young Caymanians have fair access to housing, education, and employment. We believe that we can keep our neighborhoods and communities safe by making sure we have strong laws, fair justice, and reliable security for everyone. We believe in managing money wisely to keep the country financially stable while meeting the needs of our people and the economy. We believe in leading with sensitivity and making decisions that reflect what the people of Bodden Town, East, West, Georgetown, West Bay, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, what all the people wants. We believe in the preservation, education, and promotion of Cayman heritage and culture for current and future generations. Tonight, I ask you for the good of our district to put the Bodden back into Bodden Town. Bodden Town, the first capital of the Cayman Islands, has been famous for its dignified and effective statesmen and women. More than one Bodden Town representative have gone on to become a national hero. We have a legacy of powerful leadership that the entire country has relied on during difficult times. Some of the most capable architects of our community and our nation have hailed from right here in Bodden Town. If you vote for Robert Bodden, I promise I and the Caymanian Community Party will not make a mockery of your concerns. We will make it our mission for the next 4 years to bring Bodden Town back to its former glory by giving you answers instead of antics, decency instead of division, solutions instead of sub-stories, decisions instead of drama. I will lead with integrity, respect, teamwork, and an unwavering commitment to creating a stronger, fairer Cayman Islands that works for all of us, not just a few. It is my goal that when I win, every person that did not cast a vote for me, you will vote for me in the next election. not fall asleep at the wheel of our country's future. Let's put the Bodden back in Bodden Town. Bring true leadership to Bodden Town. On April 30th, come out and vote early. Vote number 1, Robert A. Bodden of the Caymanian Democratic Party, of the Caymanian Community Party. Vote number 1, Robert A. Bodden of the Caymanian Community Party. Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta have a little humor and you gotta be able to laugh at yourself. Thank you to our dedicated team and all the hard work in putting this event on together tonight. I want to say a special thank you to Miss Alida Soto. Many of you know her from her marriage to the late Bob Soto, but she also was a pioneer in the financial industry. She told me stories of how it was back in the 70s. She worked for Sir Vassal Johnson and how they marketed the Cayman Islands as they mailing out letters. And she told me that daunting task and how she fell asleep at night. But she made sure those letters went out. And they were the forefront iron men and women that built what we have today. And I want to say thank you, Dr. Roy, who was not able to be with us today because he's suffering from the flu. I'm just getting over it. Thank you tonight, my supporters. Thank you, the people of Bodden Town, East and West, for coming out tonight. And on April 30th, vote straight. Vote Bodden Town, Osbourne, Ozie Bodden, Robert Anthony Bodden.
The TCCP. Now, we have heard from the bishop, we have heard from the bard, we have heard of our brilliance, and we've heard from the butler of Bodden Town. I'm going to invite a beautiful Bodden to the stage to celebrate being Caymanian. Please welcome Miss Vashti Bodden.
I'm so proud to be, I'm so proud to be. Home, oh, the beautiful Caymanian, where he has founded upon the seas, written in the stone. So, yeah, come with me to the beach. Let me show you the fishermen by the shore. Greetings with a smile that is gay mankind. Always say good morning, 'cause it's our style. Ooh, our history got me singing with pride. Oh, land of soft breezes, oh, beloved isle. I'm so proud to be. I'm so proud to be Caymanian. I am so proud to be. Yeah, I'm so proud to be Caymanian. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, na na. I'm so proud to be. Na na na. Let's take a cruise from North Side right down to West Bay. The Back Bay. We can groove to soca or reggae, country music for kitchen band. With a ba-da-ba-ba-da. They say treasure can be found in the land of Bodden Town. In East End, maybe you'll hatch. Some roads will make some hot. City flop and run from bats. In the case of Cayman Black, write love letters in the sand of little Cayman. I'm so proud to be. I'm so proud to be Caymanian. I am so proud to be. Yeah, I'm so proud to be Caymanian. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bodden Town too. And I'm from Bodden Town. Thank you.
Enjoying our community tonight, and I see a couple of members I need to mention. I saw Miss Natasha Whitelock a little earlier on. Oh, there she is waving. Please make sure and visit her by the table, and you make sure you get your Bodden Town a pin. I got two. I got one for the east where I was raised, one for the west where I have to vote. Make sure you get your pin, make sure you get your t-shirt. I think we have some Bodden Town West t-shirts, some Bodden Town East t-shirts, and we have party t-shirts as well for the Caymanian community party. You see that now? One side of the district though, and not even Bodden Town. So, our next opportunity is going to be to hear from the bridge of Bodden Town. The bridge between our heritage and our potential. But to introduce Mr. Osbourne Bodden, we're going to invite a few people up to tell you a little bit about him. But I'm going to tell you, I'm so glad to have somebody in Bodden Town West that I feel will be the one who will just steward our district, our constituency, through our values, understanding who we are, and taking us to the next level. Right? So let's put the Bodden back in Bodden Town. And I'm going to invite a Mr. Volney Reese to join us on the stage and tell us a little bit about Mr. Ozie.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Volney Reese, and it is my honor to stand before you tonight to endorse your candidate for the electoral district.
Try to put it closer.
Yeah.
You can see?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry about that. Endorse your candidate for the electoral district of Bodden Town West, my loyal friend and fellow Bodden Towner, Mr. Osbourne. Ozie Bodden. Yeah. Growing up in Northward area, I have had the pleasure of knowing Ozie most of my adult life, and I can confidently say that he possesses the necessary qualities and experience to once again serve his country and the people of Bodden Town West. Over the years, Ozie has led by example and has the strength to make hard decisions while motivating those around him to achieve the impossible. I consider myself fortunate to have learned from the best and from a man who is deeply grounded in tradition. He has a proven track record of service, strong community relations, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Ozie has taught us that we have a responsibility to make a positive contribution to society, and I am proud to say that he is once again leading me by example. I can tell you that there is no better person than Ozie to have in your corner when you're facing tough opponents or making hard decisions. He is battle tested, but perhaps more importantly, he is a doer. His long-term commitment to helping people and their communities make me confident that he will not fail the good people of Bodden Town West and these islands at no time. In closing, I would like to quote a few words from the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We need leaders not in love with money, but in love with justice. not in love with publicity, but in love with humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 30th of April, I am humbly asking you to vote for Mr. Osbourne, Ozie Bodden, your candidate for Bodden Town West. God bless you, and God bless these beautiful Cayman Islands. Thank you.
You will not believe that's the first time he's ever done a public speech. Thank you. Thank you.
People step in the building that we need to talk about. I saw Miss Emily DeCoux somewhere. Where's Emily? Oh, she's over there. Hi. We already mentioned Miss Natasha Whitelaw. Is Sabrina here? Oh, there she is. All right. And Miss Heather is here. And I think Miss Kathy Ann is here. Kathy Ann, there she is. Kathy Ann Ebanks-Wilkes. All of the ladies of the TCCP are here tonight. And we're waiting for a couple more who are on their way. So we still got our fingers crossed for Auntie, who is actually in his forum right now. He'll soon be out. He's going to catch us when he comes out. And Mr. Andre will be on his way. No, he's coming. He's on his way. Don't worry. We're not leaving him out, I promise. As they come, we'll call them. Now, I would like to invite another titan of Cayman and Bodden Town in particular, Mr. Charles Clifford, to join us on the stage to introduce Mr. Ozie Bodden.
Thank you very much, Aniki. Good evening, Bodden Town West and Bodden Town East.
Let's get this party started.
What a beautiful crowd, what a beautiful evening. You feel the wind? You feel the winds? The winds of change are blowing in Bodden Town tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now my job is fairly simple. I've been asked to endorse and to introduce Ozie Osbourne Bodden. But before doing so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a few words about our electoral process and about some of the mischief that Ozie's opponents are creating. You've heard all of this nonsense they're going on with about the nomination process. Let me explain to you, ladies and gentlemen, what that's about. Ozie is way ahead in the race and they know it. They know that they can't beat him on a fair field. So they have to cheat, and they have to lie, and they have to engage in deceit. So what they've been doing, they come on national radio, you know, and on TV and stuff, and on social media, and they say, oh, this nomination thing, we're not concerned about that, let the people decide. Meanwhile, they have their supporters, and they know who they are, sending messages to Radio Cayman, sending messages to other social media, and creating all of this mischief. Ladies and gentlemen, this issue came up in mid-March, and you all will be aware that the Elections Office issued a statement and they clarified the matter. They made it clear that Osbourne Bodden was nominated on nomination day, that Osbourne Bodden is a candidate in the Bodden Town West constituency, and let me say this, ladies and gentlemen, Ozie was a candidate on nomination day. He was a candidate the day after nomination day. He's been a candidate since that. He's a candidate today. He's going to be a candidate tomorrow. And he's going to be a candidate and he's going to be a candidate on election day all the way up until 11 p.m. And around that time, ladies and gentlemen, the returning officer for Bodden Town West, will come out of the counting station and will announce to the voters in Bodden Town West and the Cayman Islands that Osbourne, Ozie Bodden, has been elected as the next MP for Bodden Town West. So, ladies and gentlemen, elections are about choices, and it doesn't matter which district we're voting in. You have to make a choice as to which candidate you are going to elect. So let us look for a minute at the choices in Bodden Town West. We have Ozie, and you know, Ozie has a lot of experience. Ozie has served the Bodden Town community twice already as a member of parliament. Ozie has been the Minister of Health. He has been the Minister of Youth, the Minister of Sports, the Minister of Community Affairs. Ozie is a credible and experienced candidate, ladies and gentlemen. And let me say this, we do not have, in this election, unfortunately, we do not have a lot of candidates that are credible, honest, experienced. Ozie is one of them, and we cannot forfeit the opportunity to not elect him on the 30th of April. And he is number one on the ballot, and he's number one for a reason. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Number two on the ballot is Mr. Caymanian Rankin. And ladies and gentlemen, you all know, because I've been on social media and on other platforms, I have personally encouraged more young people to vote and to run for public office. And I'm glad to see people like Caymanian in the race. I'm glad to see other young candidates in the race. But, ladies and gentlemen, as I just said, we don't have a lot of credible and experienced candidates in the race. And Caymanian, now is not your time. This, ladies and gentlemen, is an experience for Caymanian, no doubt, a learning experience. And we respect everybody's right to vote. But I want to say something about constituencies and the Bodden Town West and constituency in particular, but all of the constituencies that have multiple candidates. Be careful with the split vote, ladies and gentlemen. You only have one vote, but in an election where you have an incumbent that you want out, because that's what we keep hearing everywhere we go, the incumbent has to go. Be careful, because we know what the polls are saying, and we know that Mr. Rankin, I shouldn't say we know, the polls are saying that he's not going to get enough votes to win. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let's not allow those votes to be wasted, and worse yet, for that split vote to put the incumbent back in office. So vote for Osbourne, Ozie Bodden on April the 30th. And as I said, Caymanian is a young man, he's a smart young man, I have a lot of respect for him. His time will come, and we'll give him some advice in due course. But Caymanian, let me just say this tonight too. You talk a lot about Bitcoin, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can't talk about Bitcoin 90% of the time. You can't, because it demonstrates that you are disconnected from your people. The people don't want to hear about Bitcoin now. They want to hear about what you're going to do about the cost of living and those kinds of things. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the third candidate, the incumbent. Now, he's number 3 on the ballot for a reason. I'm just going to say that for now. He is number 3 for a reason. But Mr. Saunders, ladies and gentlemen, was the deputy premier of this country. Mr. Saunders had to be fired by the premier of this country, the Honorable Wayne Panton, for what Mr. Panton said were conduct issues within the government administration building. Ladies and gentlemen, the former deputy premier had his instrument of appointment revoked by the governor of the Cayman Islands. And let me say this, as a former minister in cabinet, as a former senior civil servant, ladies and gentlemen, the premier of this country and the governor of this country don't make those types of decisions lightly and without a basis. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's very unlikely that if he was to be elected again, that he would be allowed to serve in cabinet. And I can tell you this, the Bodden Town West constituency is not going to be able to be served appropriately unless you have a seat in cabinet, and Osbourne Bodden is the person that can deliver that to you. And so the choice is clear, ladies and gentlemen. Ozie is the only feasible candidate for Bodden Town West. Now, I wanted to focus on that issue because I know that has been quite topical recently. And I'm not going to go on much longer because I know Ozie needs to come to the podium. I have endorsed Ozie. Ozie said must keep talking. No, he don't want that because he know how I am. You know, we used to campaign together. But I want to say this, ladies and gentlemen. I have endorsed Ozie on a number of other platforms, on every one of our area meetings that we've been to, on Facebook and on other places. Because I know the man. Ozie, Mr. Anthony Eden, and I served together. We were elected and we served in the 2005 to 2009 administration. I was the Minister of Tourism, Environment, Investment and Commerce, and Mr. Eden was the Minister of Health and Human Services, and Ozie was the person on the ground in Bodden Town dealing with all of the district issues, dealing with requests from the elderly and indigents to Sinico and to what is now called the Department of Financial Assistance, dealing with speed bump and street light requests, dealing with road maintenance and all of that stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, it is important to note here that we took office right after Hurricane Ivan when the country was still in shambles. We had to deal with all the repairs that were going on, not just to government buildings, not just to the breakers in Bodden Town Civic Centre and the Bodden Town Police Station and the Bodden Town Clinic and the Pedro St. James National Historic Site, the Mission House in Bodden Town. All of that had to be rebuilt. So Ozie was the person on the ground in the district managing that on behalf of Mr. Eden and I. So I know the man, I know what he's capable of, I know he has a proven track record, and I know that he is going to respond swiftly to the needs of the constituents in Bodden Town West when they call him. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this because I'm going to call him to the podium shortly. I want to say this to you tonight on behalf of Osbourne, Ozie Bodden. I'm not sure why I brought this, Ozie, I never looked at it much. I want to say this on behalf of Ozie, Osbourne Bodden. Help is on the way, Bodden Town West. Osbourne, Ozie Bodden is #1 on the ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, vote one and done. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium your next MP for Bodden Town West and one of the next ministers in the incoming administration, Osbourne, Ozie Bodden.
And all your hope is gone. Turn to me, reach out and take my hand. I will be there to help you understand. It's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about leaning on each other through the hardest times. It's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about not what we take, but what we leave behind. When the tides of life are getting high, when you've lost count of all the tears you've cried, close your eyes and look into the dark. You'll find the light to open up your heart. It's all about love. It's all about love. It's all about leaning on each other through the hardest times. It's all about love. It's all about love.
All about love, folks.
It's all about
All about love. The one and only Gramps Morgan, he was here this weekend. One of my favorite. Good evening. Good evening, Bodden Town West. Good evening, Bodden Town East. This is history. A meeting between the border of the two, never done before. 2 Boddens doing it. 2 Boddens. Robert, well done. You said everything, I don't have nothing left to say. But it's been an awesome campaign with my little brother, my cousin. Last time when we did it, he was chairing my campaign in 21. And we tried a thing and it didn't quite work out. So here we are now on the same side again, but this time he's a candidate as well as I am. And this man brings a lot of energy to the table and he thinks outside the box and he's very, very good at the table and contributes a lot to the TCCP, this very young party. This man is no fool. He will lead, and he will lead Bodden Town East, and he will change Bodden Town East, and you will see a difference. Folks, I'm here tonight with you with a heavy heart, but I'm going to do my best to speak to you. And like Chucky, I brought a speech, but I don't think I'm going to be using it that much. I want to talk to you. I just want you to listen to me tonight. I want to have a conversation with you. This evening we had a very tragic murder in this district in Bodden Town East, in the Lookout Garden area. My understanding of who was killed, those of you who do not know, will shock you when you find out. Cayman has lost a professional young lady, a friend of mine. Someone that Robert and I, along with Mr. Panton and Mr. Andre E. Banks, was supposed to have a meeting with next week. Her and 3 other professional young ladies, they have a very dynamic group. They're very interested in the progress of this country and what we have to offer. In 21, when I ran in the East and Robert was with me, they called me to a household and put me through the grill, put me through my paces. Trust me, it wasn't easy dealing with them, but then at the end of the day, I earned their respect and their support. But this young lady is someone that I watch grow. Came up through the Leo Club. Everybody knows I'm a lion. Her life, I don't know what happened, but her life, my understanding is, was cut short this evening under very, very tragic circumstances. We got problems in this country, folks. We got serious problems. This reminds me so much of Estella. And we know how much good Estella was doing in this country. Folks, we got serious, serious problems. We have open borders that are not doing us any good. We got people in this country that we don't know who they are, because we have failed to protect our borders and failed to protect our people. This has to stop. As Robert said, there's equipment sitting down that should be in use right now to protect our borders. And that's just a part of it. I'll go into more on what we can do later on. Folks, I was done with the political business. I really was. And I got some strong encouragement from Bodden Town West, an area that I've always pulled extremely strong in. I was looking back at some of the results of the elections, and I was really kind of silly to go to the east, but I did it twice for love of country and trying to make a difference on that end. Well, the people on that end obviously had their minds made up. So I said, you know, that's it. I have some life left in me, I'm going to enjoy it. But the calls came and the pleas came, and being the patriot that I am, because this is not about Ozie, this is about you, the people, our future, our young people, our old people, giving them a dignified retirement. This is about making sure that what you heard young Liani talk about when she was here a while ago from the Youth Council, to make sure that our youth see a future, be optimistic, that our youth do not want to leave Cayman and not come back, that our youth who are overseas will return and make Cayman a better place. This is what we need to be working towards, because we are not the future. Robert and I are well over 50, but we have experience, we have wisdom, we have a little bit of gray matter between our ears that keeps us from being dangerous. And we can contribute and make the way possible, along with the TCCP party, to provide these islands and remove the special interests that has taken us down the wrong path. Because politicians are weak when they get there. Unfortunately, some when they get there, they only see dollar signs. And they forget that they are working for you. They forget how they got there. And they don't come back to you. They then suddenly have all the answers. And there goes the country. Because what happens? A few things get done, but it doesn't benefit the majority. It benefits a few. That is what we need to root out. That is corruption. Do you understand me? That is corruption. Not just selling a license or selling a permit or something like that that you call, you know, oh boy, look at the corruption. No. The real corruption in this country, folks, you don't see it. You only see the results of it. And you wonder, well, how that deal just went down? How that one get that contract? How that one doing that? That is the most dangerous corruption. And you have people that they target weak politicians who have gotten into power that don't know what to do with it. They don't understand their role. They think it's a chance for them to get filthy rich and take care of a few friends. That is not what MPs' jobs are. When you get elected to this honorable office of MP, the highest office in the land, you should be so honored, so thrilled to serve, so happy to come back to your people and let them know what's going on in Parliament. Listen to them and hear their concerns in Parliament and be the bridge between them and the Parliament building, instead of gallivanting and striking deals and doing the bidding of the wealthy investors that have no use, no regard, could care less for the average Caymanian. This has to stop. Folks, the Caymanian Community Party was formed recently. It's a new party. Yes, I granted that. But it's formed with some solid people, and you're going to see some of them tonight, some more of them. You're going to hear from the leader when he gets here. When I was looking at the possibility of getting back into politics in November, I said, I can't do this by myself. This is impossible. First of all, you don't have the resources and you don't have the platform. And I was like, what do I do? How do I do this? Because the people in Bodden Town West are saying, we need you, we need you, we need you. But I can't do this on my own. So I had a conversation with a few people, different conversations. And I'm not going to lie, I had a conversation with the leader of the PPM, my old party, and asked him what was going on, what they were doing. What I saw on that front didn't look like much was going to change. It was the same old, same old. Had a conversation then with my good friend, Wayne Panton, and he explained that there was a movement afoot to build this new party. I met then with him and Andre, the leader. And I said, guys, what is going to make us different? At that point, I knew nothing about it. I didn't even know the name of the party. I said, what is going to make us different? Am I going to have a voice in this party? Are we going to really take the problems of the people to heart? Are we going to make a difference? I asked these tough questions and I got straight answers. I said, guys, I don't need to come back into politics to just get elected and ride along. I coming back to make a difference. Tough, hard decisions have to be made for the Caymanian people. You have to make those decisions in the next government or we are done. We are done. You hear about at the crossroads? We on the precipice. We at Pedro Bluff. That's where we are. The birthplace of democracy down the road. We on that bluff. And we got to drop off if we don't change it. We have to make changes that's going to help our people. We all know the issues. The issues are, the list is endless almost, right? But of course you talk about the cost of living, you talk about housing, you talk about traffic, you talk about immigration, and on it goes. And we all know the problems. So, no use getting up here as a future representative or as a party and talking about the problems themselves. We have to offer, you have to have a party that has the ability, the experience, and the desire and the guts to make the tough decisions that's going to turn Cayman around and make Caymanians succeed. If you've heard me speak before on the campaign, you will have heard me talk about Singapore. The Singapore model is one to be envied. A very young nation, pretty much my age, and one of the most admirable nations in the world now. Because you know what? They sat down, they had a plan, they worked their plan, they put their people first, and now everybody looks at Singapore and admires it because they're in charge of their country and they bring people in, but the people are there to work for them, not the other way around. This is the task, this is the challenge that we face. How do we do this? How do we do this? When you hear about young people wanting to leave Cayman after our forefathers left here on ships to make Cayman what it is. My father was a seaman, Robert's father was a seaman, and all of our generation had seaman fathers who went and sailed the 7 seas, those rough waters, and sent the money home. The allotments came home and built these Cayman Islands, built them into what they are today. These wonderful, beautiful, on the outside, beautiful place to be. But on the inside, there is a cancer within. And if you do not sort that cancer out, the shell is going to crumble. And the people of this country is going to have nothing besides over somewhere on a reservation. And the other people that came here are going to be leading, and we're going to be looking from the outside in. Is that what we want? Is that what we deserve? Our forefathers would turn in their graves, folks, because that is not what we are about. We built these islands to be welcoming. We built these islands to be great for our people. But suddenly, we are third or fourth class in our own country. And this is what the TCCP is all about, the Caymanian Community Party. You notice it doesn't say the Cayman Community Party, you know. That's deliberate. It says Caymanian. Because we are putting Caymanians first. Robert and I, along with our colleagues, just spent this whole week working hard at putting the finishing touches on our manifesto. It will be online this weekend, God willing. And I can tell you, hand on heart, that we went through the issues, and it was all about Caymanians. It's all about doing things that is going to change the course that we are on. It's going to give us a chance to have a better life in our own country. It's going to put us at the table instead of sweeping around it. Do you understand me? Folks, I'm very passionate, and I know if you know me, you know that. But what really got me is in my canvassing, since I've been on this train in January when I joined the TCCP, and I left chairing the board for the HSA. And I visit people and I talk to them. And I've sat in rooms with parents who cry to me because their kids don't want to come back home. I just visited on Tuesday evening, another family in Lower Valley. Son and daughter gone to England, not coming back in university. Talking to young people who want to leave, who don't see a future. You heard Liane. You heard what she said. She was one of them. She persevered, thank God, and became a Cayman Airways pilot. But that career, she cut short. Why? Because that young lady has wonderful aspirations. She has a heart for her people, and she wants to champion the young people of this country to become the future leaders. Let's hear it for Liane Tibbetts. She is the reason I'm here, because people like her give me hope that we are not working in vain, that we are setting examples that they can follow, because this is only for a time. I don't want to die in office. I ain't no Trump or what am I, Biden. I'm not going stumbling down trying to get, no. I want to live a little life too, right? So I am contributing. I've contributed twice before, 2 terms. And I want to contribute another time to make a serious difference for the young people of this country and to ensure that our old people, our elderly, our retirees can retire in dignity and not have to go to NAU or DFA or whatever you call it. No. That is not the Cayman dream. That is not the Cayman dream. The Cayman dream is to do well, get a good education, get a good job, maybe become an entrepreneur, and retire with dignity and enjoy these beautiful islands that everybody else comes and enjoys. Why can't we enjoy it? What about us? Enough is enough. Let me see if I can find this speech. I don't. The reason I won't find it is because, you see, when your detractors talk, sometimes if you don't correct them, people will think it's true. So they'll say things like, despite the fact that I've served twice, they'll say things like, what has he done? Well, you know what? I gave my team the information, went on the computer and sent it over, and they put some of it here down for me. And I don't want to forget some of the points. But I'm going to give you, those of you who do not know much about me, because I know there are some people here that may not know me as good as others, but Osbourne Bodden crawl over every part of this Bodden Town turf. As they say, they like to say barefoot. Well, I did it too. I crawl every bush, every mango bush, and Bodden Town is all I know. You understand? So nobody can come here and tell me about Bodden Town. I am a businessman in this town. I've raised my family in this town. My mother raised me in this town. East, west, north, and south. So what has Osbourne Bodden done for the last, 2001, 24 years? I've run a successful business in Bodden Town from which me and my family help a lot of people. We help people that work for us, and we help people in the community. We donate to anything that we can do. We help charities, we help young people, we help the elderly. Whatever we can do within reason, we help. I don't have to be elected to help people. That's the difference. I came up through the financial industry. My mother worked hard and sent me to the UK to train as an accountant. I didn't finish my final exams because I didn't like tax, but I did what they call the professional exams. So I don't have that accounting designation behind my name, but I can add 2 and 2 enough. So I also did an insurance certification, so I'm a bit of an insurance. I know a little bit about that. I had senior positions within the insurance industry. I left as a vice president when I took over my business in 2001, my family business. I was VP of a captive insurance company. I had my own portfolio. I was the Minister for Health, Sports and Culture in 2013. And then I became the Minister of Community Affairs, Youth and Sports, 15 to 17. So I understand how government works. I understand the Parliament building. I know where it is. You all got that? As Minister, let me blow my horn a little bit. Please allow me. As Minister, I commissioned the first ever solid waste management policy. There wasn't one before I did it as Minister of Health. So you see this joke that's going on with the landfill and the waste problem that we have in this country? The policy was created in 2013 when I became the minister. And really and truly, it's only politics and games why we don't have a solution to the waste in this country. We're going to sort that out. It's going to take a lot of effort, but we're going to fix that. Because we can't keep piling up garbage in this country. In fact, we got to ship some of the garbage out. I invested in much needed landfill equipment for the Department of Environment. I remember the new garbage trucks, and I got that big blue compactor that you saw up on the mountain. Yeah, all that we bought. They didn't have one of them before. I built and opened the new cemetery in Bodden Town. The old one was full as Minister of Health. I appointed the first mental health commission of this country that is leading the way forward with mental health treatment for our folks who need that. Dr. Lockhart, I put in charge, and a very important area. I built, under my leadership, the male wing. Some of you may not even know about that, because you always used to hear about the Francis Bodden Girls' Home down the road here in Lower Valley. It's a place you don't really hear a lot about, but it serves this community and does an amazing job, these Cayman Islands. And there's a male wing there, because there was only females at that time, and I put a male wing on it. You don't hear about that. I opened the offices in Caymanbrook for the Department of Children and Family Services. There were none before that. The CMNAU took it to the Brock, coordinated with the Governor's Office and the Ministry of Home Affairs to create and open a multi-agency safeguarding hub. It's known now as MASH, M-A-S-H, like mashed potato. Ozie is the man that was created under, serves a super important role, responsible for all child welfare matters in the Cayman Islands. I created the island's first older persons policy and led the formation of the older persons law or act. What has he done? I hope they're listening. I hope they're listening. I renovated Maple House. Maple House, you all know what Maple House is? Maple House is for our less able citizens. If you've never been there, you should pay a visit. We renovated that for their benefit. On top of that, right behind me, down the road here on the right, I bought a building from the Williams family, and the building is still in service. It's called, if you pass there, you see something called, how you say it, Habuka? Habuka House. That is a chapter, that's a wing of Maple House. There are residents there. These are our most vulnerable people that get good service from some amazing people that work at this institution. Ozie Bodden did all that. When I would go and visit them, the people that work there would cry. They said they'd never seen a minister take interest in those areas. You understand? The Cadet Corps, I got them a new building. They were operating out of a mole-infested office in the Bodden Town Civic Center downstairs. And I bought a building on Maple Road and bought them in. What have I done? Upgraded sporting facilities and equipment across the island. You understand? Every field was redone. The Truman Bodden Sports Complex got its first real PA system from Ozie Bodden. All those walking tracks around the fields in the east, Ozie Bodden. But what has he done? In Bodden Town now, talking to Bodden Town, spearheaded the cleanup of Bodden Town post-Hurricane Ivan. Because remember, we took office for the first time in 2005, as Chucky was talking about. Bodden Town was a disaster area. I was the one on the ground who led that effort along with my 2 ministerial colleagues. I worked to get the cabanas on Colwood Beach. Thank God they've just been redone. But I went to the Fosters and said, we need some cabanas. Help us out, please. That's where those cabanas came from originally. I worked within this community with every district group that we had and created the development of the Harry McCoy Park in Cumber Avenue, Gun Square area. So, folks, what have I done? I won't go through anymore, but that's a lot, I believe. That's a lot, because that was only in a 4-year period as minister and a 4-year period as a backbench supporter of the then government. So, Bodden Town West, here we are. Bodden Town West has been stranded for the last 8 years. Stranded in terms of representation. Bodden Town West needs a representative that you can talk to, that you can see and touch, that feels your pain, feels your joys, and is there to represent you with dignity, and not be kicked out of the government into the southeast corner to make noise. Because that's all you do in the southeast corner. You make noise, you pass motions, feel good motions, but they go nowhere because you've asked the government to consider. The government considers and say, okay, bye. That's what happens. Very few private members' motions that really get traction and end up in a result that changes your life. Do you understand that? Very few private member motions, because you can have your say. Remember this as opposition, but the government has its way. Remember that, folks. So the government carries out its mandate from its manifesto, and it does what it needs to do. You think the government is going to think about this, folks? Think about this for a minute. Now, you're the government, and politics by its very nature is adversarial. You got government, you got opposition. You think the government is going to spend a lot of time on the opposition making them look good? What going to happen to the government? All right, so that's what happens when you go to the southeast corner. You don't need nobody in the southeast corner. They can't help you in Bodden Town West. They can't help you in Bodden Town East. They can't help you nowhere. You need people who are on the government side. You need a united government. You need the TCCP. With 5 beautiful ladies and 5 handsome men. Welcome, Mr. Leader. It is good to be here with you guys, but let me tell you, Bodden Town West is going to get representation like it's never seen, because all you got in Bodden Town West now is homes and people. They have no services. We're going to put a school in Bodden Town West. Savannah is full. East Bodden Town Primary School that I went to both actually, they're full. They're full to the brim. We need a new school in this area. That school can have a hall that can act as a community center for this area. That you can have events, that you can have meetings, that you can enjoy and build your community, because this party is about building better communities. When you build better communities, you have a better country. Think about it. The country is made up of communities. If you got poor communities, you're going to have a poor country. If you got good, strong communities that hold their MP responsible, and he is there for them, and he listens to them and airs their concerns, you're going to have a wonderful country. So, folks, we have a lot of issues to deal with. Bodden Town West, right here where we are, perfect spot to talk about it. We have a major problem. We We know the traffic problems in the morning. And it starts, especially, Robert got it up there, but his is a little different from this one. But we have to get the police to work a little harder. And I've already served notice on the commissioner. I say I'm coming, and I expect change. We need, up by the police station, if you do not live in Lookout Gardens or Belford, or behind the school, you got no right going through there in the morning. Plain and simple. Except maybe if it's trucks that you want to reroute. But in terms of going through there, flying that the people in Lookout and Belford can't get out their yard, no! Because you're causing a problem and you're piling up down by the school, and that is causing nightmares. People cannot, the traffic is locked from up in Peace Bay. People are locked in traffic because it's all of this cutting around and simmering around. Right here is the biggest sin of all. Northward was not built as a bypass community. When Michael Watler developed the Northward community, he developed it for residents to be happy and safe. This is now a drive-through in the mornings for an hour, hour and a half. And when I tell you drive-through, a fly-through. People tell me in Northward that they're afraid to come out of their driveway. Young people, kids, anybody, workers, anyone are scared to walk because the roads are not that wide. There's no sidewalks. And cars are flying through with an attempt to speed and beat people down at Will T. That is going to stop. The commissioner has been served notice. It is going to stop. They're going to find a way to stop it. If you coming in here in the morning, you live up in here. Otherwise, keep going. Same thing up the other side. So we're going to fix that. We're going to have to put in some more speed bumps. We're going to have to put in some more street lights. I've already started working on a couple of little park areas that were just, when I got there to the first one in Lemuel Circle, the fence was laying down, the grass was tall, the gates were off. You go down there and look at it now. It's a beautiful little place where community can gather. I had a function there, and the people came out and enjoyed it. Listen, folks, we got to make changes. We got to do what is right for our people. We got to build a better community. Went down to Minzet Drive, and they had a little LPP area, land for public purposes, LPP. Grown up trees in it that you can't use, coconut trees that were taller than a skyscraper, bent, no use, except the coconuts would drop and hit your head. But you couldn't go in there anyway because it was pure rock and shambles. They've been asking the representative, the incumbent, to clear that for them for 8 years. I didn't say so, they told me so. Now you go down there and look. You go down there right now, they have a nice little park area, they have a bench, they got solar panel lights, they have the ground completely clean, the trees gone, and beautifully filled in. Ozie did that all since January. Listen, representing the people only takes heart and ambition and a listening ear. You do that and your people will not leave you because they are your bosses and you should listen to them. Listen to them and get the job done and the rest will sort itself out. We are going to have district proper representation in this district. We're going to have a district council eventually once the legislation is changed to allow it. I plan to have district councils because I believe in them. I believe they create leadership opportunities. I believe they provide that bridge for you between your MP and the community. We're going to have, of course, our constituency branch for our party, but that's another thing different from a district council. A district council is more structured. I think it should have a budget. I think the MP should be held responsible for it, and it should foster leadership in different positions that as soon as the MP is ready to move on, there's someone else ready to take his place. That is what you should be doing, not jumping up and down, talking nonsense about people and talking all kind of blackguard and all kind of people. Stop your foolishness. Talk sense. Folks, we gonna make a difference in this country. Give us a chance to do it, please, I beg you. When I was at the HSA, one of the plans that we did was for the new level 2 hospital on the bypass behind the school at the old emergency site that Mr. Chucky Clifford had designated while we were there to be an emergency center. We're gonna put a hospital there because you cannot have just one major hospital. Anything happen to that, you're in trouble. That level 2 facility will have just about all the services and it will be modern. Our clinics have just been refurbished. They're all new. They're going to be offering more services. We're going to bring health care to you that you don't have to go Georgetown for everything. We're going to bring services to you that you don't have to get in traffic. You understand? This is what's going to happen under TCCP administration. So, Mr. Andre right now is leading the polls as leader. You seeing that, right? Everybody want Andre. But tell me something. How you gonna get Andre if you don't get us? Andre has 9 soldiers at the moment. 4 men and 5 women with him. How are you gonna get Andre as premier if you don't elect the TCCP? Tell me. You think any of them other groups gonna put him in charge? Sit down and wait. So, I am telling you, tonight, this is about a change of direction for this country. There are many issues, like I said, and I got a lot of stuff in my head. I could talk all night. But we're not going to do that because time is running out. And I promised to be out of here at 10. So, are we going to be out of here at 10? So, I am going to call very soon to the stage my good friend and leader of the TCCP party to have a little chat. He's going to do his thing, and then those members who are here are going to come up, and then we're going to wrap this all up. But folks, I hope that you've heard enough. Out of my head, no paper, except for my achievements, which I didn't want to forget. They can't do this. Those who wish to compete with us can't do this. Well, I can't say that about my opponent, my incumbent, because God knows that man can talk. He can talk. He got numbers like a computer in his head. And he can convince the Eskimos to buy ice. But listen, you know what he does with all that information and brain? 0. He don't answer your calls. He don't worry about your problems. And you can't find him. He got his little circle, and that's it. That's not how you represent, folks. That's not how you represent. He's fooled people for a while. He got away with it because last time he was running against nobody and got a lot of votes. People wanted to vote. This time it's different. He has a soldier against him. He has a lion against him. And if he doubts that, all he got to do is look back at the 2013 results, election results, and saw the beating I put on him then. When I became minister, and I gave him the seat in 17, because he begged me not to run against him, and that's no lie. He said, go east, please, go east. I said, I will go east, because I really thought he was a little bit better than he is. But the truth is, he is a very poor representative. He's an intelligent human being, but that don't make you a good person. Do you understand what I'm saying to you tonight? So what are you going to do with him? You're going to put him out of office. You're going to fire him. And who are you going to hire? You're going to hire Ozie. You're going to hire Robert. And we and the TCCP are going to make a huge difference in this country. And we're going to put Caymanians first and put you at the table and make your kids come back home. And those that go, make sure they come back because we don't need no brain drain. We need them coming here because we got super intelligent kids. And we're going to make them run this country. We are going to hold the fort until they are ready. So, folks, it's coming now to April 30 in 27 or 6 days. How much it is? I lost track. 7 days. 27 days time. It's that time when you're going to go to the agriculture pavilion down here in Lower Valley and for Bodden Town West. you're going to go to the school up here for Bodden Town East, and you're going to look at that paper, and the first thing you're going to see is 1. Number 1 with our pictures. Bodden, Robert Anthony Bodden, Bodden Town East, number 1. Osbourne, Ozie Bodden, number 1 in Bodden Town West. And you're going to vote 1 and done. You can do what you want to do with referendum. I ain't telling you what to do, because there shouldn't have been no referendum. But you are going to put a difference in this country by voting good people in office, putting good people to steer the ship and turn it around for the benefit of Caymanians, for those generational as well as newer Caymanians, and for the people that visit and enjoy this country, that they don't have to come here and worry because the Caymanians are disenfranchised and looking to rob and kill them. No, that's not the country we want. We want a country, when they come here, they're going to enjoy it, and they're going to see Caymanian success, and they're going to feel good about the Cayman dream, because the Cayman dream is real, but it's for Caymanians. Do you understand me? So April 30, you know what to do. Let's get the show on the road. Let's put the Boddens back in Bodden Town. We got another Bodden in Savannah. We got 3 Boddens. And you back up that with a ponton, and then you head west, and you know the rest. So it's that time. I'm going to take my leave. Sorry about the speech, but where's the leader? Where's Miss Annika? Okay, all right. Well, we're going to get you back up here. So come and take the mic from me. I am tired because I'm going to wear me out tonight. Robert gave one speech that he covered every issue, so I had to do my best to talk to you all. I hope you understood what I had to say, and I'm looking forward to being your MP on April 30th. God bless you, and God bless your families and these Cayman Islands.
Bodden Town, how you feeling? You feel like you in Dallas. Who we voting for? TCCP. One more again. Who we voting for? Miss Shalma, you let me down. Come, at least pull the horn for me one more time. Who we voting for? Now we are blessed to have all of the TCCP, I think with one exception, and of course we've been holding Mr. Auntie in our prayers tonight. Everyone is here tonight. Mr. Wayne Panton is here. I already announced all of the ladies, and I know that our leader is also here, Mr. Andre Ebanks, and I'm going to invite Mr. Andre to the stage to close us off this evening. Thank you so much. You have been so gracious. It's been very good to be home and to bring our community home. Please welcome Mr. Andre Ebanks.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat.
Good evening, Bodden Town. Now, although we are here to celebrate our candidates, promote our candidates, I want to take a moment to have a minute of silence to recognize a tragedy that has occurred in Bodden Town, that for whatever our differences may be, we're all still Caymanians, we're all still residents of a community, and let's just take a moment to have a moment of silence for someone who has lost their life tonight in a most brutal fashion. I could invite you to bow your heads and open your hearts and your spirits for about 30 seconds. We pray, dear Lord, for that soul to be taken care of and make passage to you, O Lord, and to have comfort as much as possible, only through you, Lord, for all of her family and all of her friends at this time. And let us be able to make some sense of it and some better of it. In Jesus' name, amen. At the end of the day, we're still a community. And that's more the reason why we shouldn't politicize those type of incidents and tragedies, but try to find some silver lining to make the community better for it. Now, to change the mood and have switch gears to a lighter moment, Ozie didn't make my task tonight easy. So Robert didn't help him in terms of the speech, took his policy points, and then my job was to promote the team and vote TCCP. He took that and then sat down and said, I need to be done by 10. The good thing is, you get lemons, you make lemonade. This will be short and sweet. For starters, I would like to invite to give evidence to what Ozie is talking about, all of the TCCP candidates to join me on stage. Please make your way, Em. Please make your way, Natasha. Please make your way, Heather. Is Kat still here? Sabrina's still here. He's coming.
Whether you're young or whether you're old, soak above, rock your soul. Come again. Dance or soca, jamming up, jamming up. Dance or soca, jamming up, jamming up. The party done start already. So I'm looking for somebody.
Thank you, DJ. Now we're only light by 2. My fellow West Bayer headed west before me. And Anthony is representing us proudly at the Chamber debate tonight. And from all the WhatsApps I got on the way here, he did a phenomenal job. To pick back up on the point that Ozie has mentioned, who is a valid candidate in this election as confirmed by the elections office, that's what you need to focus on. He is here on the team, on the ballot. Vote for Ozie. But he's correct in saying, if this is the leadership that you want, not 9 soldiers, 9 community captains who are all standing in as unified to have leadership that listens, to have constituency branches and district councils to feed up to the executive so you're not forgotten about for 4 years, to have succession planning in politics. If you want to turn the country around to have it modern and inclusive, if you want a stronger, fairer Cayman, then ladies and gentlemen, on the 30th of April, all of these folks here and our 2 that are home is who you need to vote for to take this country into its next era of success where all of the Caymanians participate and benefit from the success of the country. If you want to put Bodden back into Bodden Town, then you have to vote for Robert, Ozie, Heather, and then Panton to back them up. If you want a unified Georgetown team to get things done and get things moving in the country, you have to vote for Sabrina, M, Natasha, and at midfield, and T. And if you want West Bay to be a thriving community again, then you vote for Andre Ebanks and Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes. You will see unity. You will see coordination. You will see us take this country to success and heights it has not seen yet for all Caymanians. So God bless you all. Don't listen to the quitter talk. Do not listen to the foolishness. Do not listen to people who have already failed and now want to come back and bamboozle you with recycled persons. At least now for you, you lucky is transparent. Before we couldn't see it coming. But now they're all in the same house. If you don't want to recycle, because you already know where that movie goes, if you want a new movie with people who are going to stand by you, that is going to stand up for the wider country interest than for special interests, 30th of April, vote straight for TCCP. And for all of the foolishness, you just look at them and say, but you have forgotten about me. What TCCP is asking is, what about us? I don't want to hear the foolishness. I don't want to hear the recycled empty promises. I want you to know what you're going to do for the community. God bless you all. Take us with you. Take us on the ride in this election. You have a choice. You could go with what you know, a movie that you've seen before, or you can go with something new and exciting and a right time for this approach. So God bless you all. God bless Bodden Town, and God bless the Cayman Islands. You just say, vote straight, TCCP, 30th of April, get it done. God bless you all. Good night, folks. What about us as a community?
We stood up and made the tough choices that needed to be made to preserve our way of life.
We are searchlights we can see in the dark. We are rockets pointed up at the stars. We are billions of beautiful hearts. And you sold us down the river too far.